Here is a Quasar, not the clocks, the air conditioner, a Quasar CoolView air conditioner. It's cool because it's an air conditioner and it gives a good view. This is very, very short. I would say it's no more than 8 inches tall, so it blocks not much of the window at all. It blocks even less than a regular 6-inch window fan blocks. This, I believe, is a 6000 BTU model. Let's take a look at the data sheet. Yep, it's a 6000 BTU. It's model number HQ5061DW1 room air conditioner. The date code is 91A, which is very likely to be June of 1991, though you cannot always assume that, because sometimes the date codes do not decrypt the way that you would logically think. It's rated for 6 amps, 655 watts. The EER is allegedly 9.1, and it's got 12.7 ounces of R22 refrigerant. I picked this up last summer from a local collector. I forget what his name was. I guess he's one of those ones that's kind of like off the radar, if you will. It didn't occur to me. I guess I just kind of always assumed that people that are into this kind of hobby typically post videos or pictures or what have you, but man, it makes perfect sense. There's probably a lot of people that are into this kind of stuff and just don't get involved in it. I think that's very true about the cordless phones as well, because I remember back before eBay just became a complete ripoff. I used to look on there pretty often, and the cordless phones would move, but you never could find any material on the internet for them in the earlier days. Now there's a bunch of other channels, but years ago you could never find them. And so I suspect there's a lot of phone collectors that are off the radar, if you will, as well. But anyways, getting back to this air conditioner, it is a Quasar, which is, I forget exactly what the connection is, but Quasar is more or less the same as Panasonic, Matsushita. Here's one other brand, I forget what it is now, but it's a Japanese product, and it's very, very good quality. Utilizes all high-end components, and it's very well made. The controls are hidden behind one of these doors here. It's got low-high fan, low-high cool, and a thermostat. No automatic fan, unfortunately. The coil is almost horizontal. It's a very interesting design. Take you off the tripod for a second here. The coil sits like this. I just had it on, so it's kind of wet. And then I guess there's a blower wheel fan in the back there. Let's see if we can see how free the bearings are. It seems to be pretty free. I wonder if it's a ball bearing motor. It's very, very quiet. This is probably one of the quietest air conditioners I own. This is, it's even quieter than like Emerson Quiet Cool and so forth. Very, very reputable, known for low noise machines. It's got two little filters here, both of which are in decent condition. The unit's in pretty good condition overall, which is, it's always nice to get stuff from other collectors because it's usually halfway reasonable. It is complete. I do have the side panels for it, and this is the support bar. I just didn't put them on for the video because this is just a test. I installed this a couple days ago when Mike was here. He has one of these as well, and I had him show me how it works because I wasn't quite sure how it worked. So he and I installed this, and he spoke very highly of the machine, and I agree with him 100%. This thing performs very, very well. In comparison to this unit next to it, which is a 6,000, I mean, no, that's not accurate. That's a 12,000 BTU, and this one's only a 6. It does not perform like half of the power. It performs more like, you know, like 80% of the power. It's exceptionally powerful. It cools very well, and it dehumidifies very well also. Even in this big area here, I've been using it the last couple days, and it's been able to keep the temperature around the mid-70s, whereas the feathers to the right typically only gets down to about 72 or 73 because this area is not enclosed. So it's performing really quite well for only a 6,000 BTU. So I've got the kilowatt meter hooked up here. We'll start with the fan speeds, see how much power the condenser or the evaporator fan uses. The condenser fan does not run on the fan only setting. Only the inside fan runs on fan only. The condenser fan does not turn on until you get into the cool mode. Curiously, the condenser fan does not cycle on and off with the compressor, only with the settings on the knob. So we're going to be testing today at 121.4 the volts. We'll go over to the amps, and we're going to turn the fan on to low fan. So that fan is only drawing 0.18 amps on low and 0.24 amps on the high, which is 27.2 watts with a power factor of 0.9, and on low the power factor is 0.58, 13 the watts. I wonder if it's shaded pole. 0.9 is extremely high for shaded pole, but 0.54 is absolutely abysmal and pathetic for a PSC. That's very interesting. So now I'm going to turn the temperature all the way down, and we're going to engage the condenser fan. That added about 0.4 amps, and that adds about 0.5. So the condenser fan motor is very efficient as well. The condenser fan definitely is PSC. The condenser fan is only one speed, so it's always running at full power, which is nice because then you can run the fan on the inside on low for better dehumidification, and even on a hot day, the condenser is still getting good airflow. It's really quite strong coming out of here. Granted, it's a very narrow register, but it's a very constant stream of airflow. It feels much like a mini split because it's the same style fan. It's a very constant and steady breeze, and it's full. It's equal across the entire register. There's a difference between the two speeds, but it's not much. So we'll leave it on low, and we're going to go ahead and engage the compressor now. I'll remove this towel so we can hear it a little better. There it goes. Started up very gracefully. Even the thermostat's smooth and quiet. It's got 1 through 10 on there. Can't even hear that compressor. Let's get some temperature information. But the ambient temperature, according to the thermometer in here, is 81, which is quite warm. 81 degrees over 45%. And according to this temperature thingy here, the output is already 50. It does have adjustment side to side, I think, does it? Yeah, I'm just not sure how it works. Maybe the levers are broken or something. No, I guess you just move it like this. And they work, but it's not super directional. This actually provides more of a noticeable difference. I'm surprised there's not much to that. The compressor's a little chattery at first, but it's a very quiet chatter, and it does go away after a few minutes. So we've got 81 going in and 50 going out. That's a 30-degree split. This was running right before the video, so it charged up really quick. That is low fan. A high fan, the temperature goes up not at all. So you can see there's really not a big difference in the fan speeds. Now it went up maybe a degree, if that, not by much. If I go across the room here, I can actually feel it quite a few feet away. Angle this back down. That's adjustable per each side, which is kind of cool. I can feel it. Let's see, this is about, I'm more than halfway across the room, and I can feel it noticeably still. A little bit, yeah. I can feel it almost all the way across the room. That's one of the things I like about the side discharge models, is that the airstream is very concentrated. You can feel it far away. This is the same way. It's a pretty concentrated stream, and it pushes the air far away. Why is that reading 63? That's not. Oh, you know why it's reading 63? Because that got pushed up out of the airstream. There we go. 47 now. 46. Go back to low fan. Now that kind of like rattling or scratchy sound that you hear is not a issue with the machine. That's the stupid slinger reel in there. Slinger wheel, whatever the heck it's called. I did remove the drain plug, but it's apparently still allowing enough water to build up to get on that slinger wheel and slosh around in there. So we need to do something about that, because that is no good. That will end up rotting out the coil. It's 45. That's now a 35-degree split. Let's go outside and take a look from the outside. Here's what it looks like from the outside. You can hear that stupid slinger wheel doing its thing out here. Very, very strong airflow out of the condenser. And even before it filled up with water, it was hardly blowing any heat out here. It runs very, very cool. And it's doing the same thing right now, and it's over 80 degrees out. So that little hose in there is where the evaporator drains. And I guess it allows enough water to build up still, so we gotta do something about that. Probably just extend that hose. That's what Mike recommended. Just extend the hose and drop it out at the bottom. There's the mounting apparatus. Very interesting design. And very secure. This puts a lot of the weight on the house as opposed to on the windowsill. Compressor. Very, very quiet. I can't see the logo from here, but I'm fairly certain it's a Matsushita compressor in there, which is pretty much top of the line. Even the test pressure is pretty low on this. It's only tested up to 330. So it definitely is built to run very cool. Some of these things get scorching hot out the back and the test pressure can be over 400. This one definitely runs cool. And there's a tremendous amount of airflow too. The coil is very clean and it's not corroded at all. So whatever the other guy used to clean this, it works pretty good and he used it properly. So it's still 80 degrees in here, over 44%. It actually feels very comfortable in here right now. And the output air temperature is currently 44, which is a pretty impressive split. It's about 36 degrees. It's very good. That's above average. On high fan, I think it's going to stay pretty much the same. It dehumidifies very well because of the way the coil is designed. It has a very large surface area and the air moves over it slowly. Yeah, it didn't even budge a degree. On high fan, it's pulling 5.58 amps, 619 the watts, and its power factor is 0.91. And switching it to low cool should not make much of a difference in terms of power consumption because the condenser fan remains steady and it did not make much of a difference. It dropped by about 0.01 something watts or amps, which is about the difference in the power consumption of the fan. For low, it's 5.47 amps, 611 watts. Power factor is 0.92. And it runs very smooth too, not a lot of vibration or anything. And some units, the whole wall shakes and everything, like this one, things vibrate in the kitchen and stuff. This is very, very smooth running. And I just can't believe how quiet this is. And everything about it is so quiet. The fan is quiet, the thermostat is quiet, the compressor startup and shutdown is quiet. A lot of these units with the mechanical thermostats, the click of the thermostat is so loud you can hear it all across the house. Like this Fetters unit here, the thermostat's so loud I can hear that several rooms over. But this one is just silent. The compressor kicks on so gracefully you don't even notice it. It's just an excellent machine through and through. Really great piece. I'm glad I got it. I figured it was probably an uncommon unit when I saw it, but I didn't realize that it was such a good quality machine. And I also really like too that you can still see out the window, because that is something that annoys me with the air conditioners. Then you lose so much window space. So I always like to look out the windows. I like to enjoy the yard and whatever, see the leaves on the trees and the flowers and everything and landscaping. And with the air conditioner, you can't see any of it. So it's a really cool machine. I'm glad I got it. Definitely looking out for some more, because I would use these everywhere. I really like quiet machines, and so if I tell you something's quiet, I mean it is really quiet. I'm going to click the thermostat off. It's great. It's so quiet. No refrigerant noise. Well, there we go. The Quasar CoolView. We're definitely going to do another video on this thing. We'll take it apart and clean it out. I think it's pretty clean as it is, but I want to take it apart and make sure everything's clean, make sure the motors are lubricated, and I also want to modify the way the drain is so that all the water goes out of the unit and does not accumulate in the condenser area at all. And we'll also have to drill a drain hole because the water, the rainwater, can enter from the top. I really don't know why these manufacturers find it necessary to put these drains in the top, especially cases like with this one where the hole is so small it's really not going to let any air in. Just lets water in and it causes a lot of rust and mold. It's not good. But what is good is this machine. This is excellent equipment.